Recording progress.
Hi, everybody. My name is PeterTse, and I'm going to tell you a bit about what goes on in my lab. We're very concerned with consciousness, especially visual consciousness and its neural bases or basis. We do MRI, EEG, and psychophysics to try to answer that question. We're also very interested in the pre-conscious operations that construct consciousness. We often use illusions as a probe because these are interesting mistakes that can tell us a little bit about normal processing. And we're very interested in mental operations, especially volitional attention and the ability for attention to affect how you see the world. We're also interested in the aspect of consciousness, which is your internal consciousness, your internal virtual reality of your imagination. And in general, we're very focused on top-down processing. So I'll just give you an example of the kind of stuff we do. So here's a picture. You know, the top picture you can see as a woman holding a mirror, like the lower right, or a face, like the lower left. How does your brain flip volitionally between those two interpretations? So we look, for example, at a case of motion. Now, this is a very well-known case, apparent motion. This is just two images, and you will either see this going vertically or horizontally. Let's say you see it going vertically now. Well, you can cover the bottom two with your hand and force it to go horizontally. And you can volitionally control this. So we take this sort of paradigm into psychophysics. And in this paradigm, the two dots were right at the center. And people were told, okay, try to see it go vertically or horizontally when it switches. So it switches at time 0. And first we did it without telling people the meaning of certain tones that were in the background. But then afterwards, we told them if it's a high tone, try to see it go vertically. If it's a low tone, try to see it go horizontally. And we would get data like this. So before people knew what it meant, of course, people were at chance, seeing vertically or horizontally. But then we told them the meaning of the tones. High tone, try to see it go vertically. Low tone, try to see it go horizontally, or vice versa. And the data look like this. Now, what's important to realize about these data is that the tone could even happen after time 0. So time 0 is when it went from bup to bup. So even after the event in the world, people were able to volitionally control what they would see, which implies that there is a preconscious buffer. This implies the existence of a preconscious buffer that compares events over about 300 milliseconds before a decision is made about what happened in the world, which we then experience. Volition can top-down bias these unconscious processes. So we're very interested in this question now. And if you came here to be my graduate student, you would be certainly involved in an upcoming fMRI experiment that tries to answer this question, where, for example, where in the brain can we decode the intention to see vertical versus horizontal before the switch? Is it in frontal areas, top-down processing? Or is it in mid-level receiving areas, or even earlier? We don't know, and we're going to try to find out. I also run a side operation, which is an octopus lab, and if you came here, you would be welcome to get involved with the octopus research as well. We're trying to invent octopus EEG so we can understand what their brains are doing. Thank you very much for your time.